Hello and welcome. I am Zodiac Bandit, and today I've got a video that you might not want to watch if you want to watch campaigns 1 and 2 without any spoilers. So skip ahead a few, I don't know, maybe a minute. But there's your warning. Do you remember how impactful it was when Scanlan Shorthold died? He left the group because they did something he asked them not to do. They immediately contacted his daughter, and she helped bring him back. That was one thing. Don't tell her. Do you remember how important it was when Mollymauk died? They couldn't even bring him back. Not until way later, anyway. And then they had to bring in Caduceus, and they couldn't save the group because of it. And they had to go rescue them with this new guy named Caduceus. And then he eventually became the main villain of the last arc of the entire campaign. The point is, death in D&D can be incredibly impactful. And today, I'm going to try to predict who's going to be the first character to die in Campaign 3 and if they will perma-die or not. I think Campaign 3 is going to experience very little death. Right off the bat, they're starting at level 3. FCG, if he doesn't already, can grab at any moment Revivify. That's just something he can do. Whenever he wants, he can take a day, take it, and use it from that point on. Granted, if he doesn't already have it in his list, and someone dies before he does, that person's gone. And at level 5, Fern gets Revivify as well. So, death is going to be very hard to come by after level 5. But let's say this scenario where FCG doesn't have it on his spell list anywhere right now, and say somebody goes down, who do I think it's going to be? That is this video. So before I get started, I have a few rules to clarify. I'm not going to count Dorian as a character for this prediction list. I mean main cast member. And I'm not going to consider Bertrand Bell. Because I truly believe he is a pseudo guest character, and they will eventually introduce Travis's real character. If they choose to keep Bertrand Bell around, that's fine. I don't think he's the one at risk right now. He's 2 levels higher than everyone else. So, with that being said, I have 3 characters who I truly believe will be the first ones to die, if any, at all. So, first of my 3 predictions is FCG, and it hurts me to say that inside because I truly like that character. I think he is probably my favorite character as of right now in this campaign, and this pains me to say, but I do think it is very likely for him to be one of the first ones to kick the bucket. And if he dies, like right now in the next couple of episodes before they hit level 5, he's gone. And the reason I think this is because of this shared suffering ability and his character overall, but I'll get to that in a minute. The shared suffering halves the damage someone takes, and then he takes that damage as well, the halved damage. I think he'll do that to save someone else, even if it risks killing him. And because of that, I feel like he's very likely to die. I just do. I feel like this shared suffering is something he would definitely do to save others, especially someone like Ashton, who is always in the front lines, or maybe even someone like Orym, or maybe even someone like Bertrand Bell to make him feel bad. But I do think he'll use this to save somebody at the cost of his own life. And then, potentially 3 bad death saving rolls and he's gone. So, I also think his character is one to put himself in danger for others. And with that, I feel like if everyone else is starting to get hurt, he's not going to run. He'll be the one to be like, I'll stay back and defend while you guys leave. And yeah, those are my reasons to why I think he'll be one of the first ones to die. Because that's very in his character, in my opinion, to save others. He literally says this a handful of times throughout the last 2 episodes. So, FCG, first one to die, and if he dies, he's probably the only one that I can see perma-dying. So next up is Ashton, and the only way this happens is if he runs out of all 3 of his rages. I feel like with raging and him taking reduced damage from most things is huge. It's a huge benefit to him, and I believe that he'll sit up in the front lines because of this, and hopefully he won't lose it. And yeah, I just feel like he's a character who will stay in danger if he has to, even if he loses rage. Granted, he has 3 rages right now. So that means if he loses all 3 of them, and for whatever reason they didn't get the long rest in between the last time he used it and now, there is your situation for him dying. He is out of rages, and he's going to stay on the front lines because that's what he does. This whole, I believe it was called Chaos Burst, is a total random thing that we don't know about yet, that I don't know about yet. So who knows what the hell that even means. But as of right now, based off if he loses rages, and he's a barbarian, so he has to sit up smacking people, I truly believe that if he loses his rages, he's done for. And because he'll stay there. He'll stay in the front. Maybe this will be the moment where FCG halves the damage and dies himself. Who knows? But I think a barbarian running out of rages is a huge, huge negative, and it might cost him in the end. So my last prediction is Aurum, and he, in my opinion, might be the most likely to actually go down and potentially die if FCG doesn't have Revivify. But the reasoning is he doesn't have the hit point pool that a barbarian has, doesn't have any reducing damage that a barbarian has. He does have battle maneuvers, and there are like 1 or 2 that can heal you, I believe. But for the most part, I think he's going to try to sit up there and disarm, or he's going to try to sit up there and maneuver other people around him to get them out of danger if need be. And I think that is the scenario in which he dies. In EXU, he was able to switch his positioning with a handful of characters and take damage for them. So it's a spellcaster is getting rushed, he can switch spots with them using his battle mastery. And I think that's a very likely scenario where he takes a huge amount of damage and goes down. And maybe he's too far out of range for anyone to heal him, and then 3 poor death saving throws, and we're minus an Aurum now. And a squishy fighter is a squishy fighter. You know, compared to a barbarian, if you fight in the front lines, you're squishy as a fighter, comparatively, anyway. And I think after an enemy or 2 realizes that this guy is not going down, this guy being Ashton, and then he switches over to Aurum because Aurum doesn't seem to have this resistance toward damage. And I can very likely see that happening, or I can see Aurum switching places with Dorian or with Imogen or Ludina and taking a great deal of damage because of that. And like I said, his hit pool or hit dice pool isn't as strong. Granted, he does have second wind, so yeah, at the end of the day, I do believe Aurum is the most likely to die out of everyone because of his battle maneuvering and his his character. His character would be one to take one for someone else, and because of that, he's going to put himself in danger. He's already done that in EXU, so I truly believe he is probably one of the most likely to die here. So let me know who you think will be the first one to die, or maybe give me multiple who you think will die throughout the campaign. If you think there's going to be any permadeath. Do you think Sam is going to take Revivify? I honestly, I don't think so now that I really think about it. He might not. So permadeath might be more likely than we all suspect. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching the previous videos. One other video of mine, I think it's the why do people hate on the EXU characters, is nearly at like 7K views, which is crazy. Like, absolutely nuts. So if you watch that, thank you. Go watch my last video, which was my reactions and thoughts to episode 2. And if you have already, thank you. So we'll see you next time.